Hey you guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Daria and I'm a student nurse and this is my channel. So if you see me looking down, it's because I've got some notes. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I feel like most of you guys are my friends, so I appreciate your support. And if you're not my friend, it's okay. Feel free to subscribe. We can become friends. We can chat, whatever. But yeah, really grateful for you guys. It's so cute. Like when you start a channel, it's like even that one like or that one comment, it means the world to you. So thank you. And yeah, I think it'd be cute to do giveaways in the future. So if you're interested in my content, feel free to subscribe. I'd love it. Like maybe one day I can give away a lip mint or something. It would be really cute. And then another thing I was thinking is, so I don't know if you saw my study tools from MedSurg video. I like really recommended this book. So I finally started studying, if you can see by like all my sticky tabs. I finally started using it and it's really good. And actually, I found out the other day that it's actually kind of hard to come across this book. Even my book is a used book. I did not find a new book. Maybe it's because of where I was looking or I just didn't find it. So I'm thinking maybe it'd be cute to do some active recall videos. I'll read something from the book and, we can do it together. So I might start uploading those every Friday. And if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, just move on right past it. But yeah, so maybe something to look forward to. Now, today's video is going to be for my people who are thinking of applying to or starting to apply to nursing programs. So usually for nursing programs, you do have to take an entry test, whether that's the ATI, TEAS, the PAX. I think the full name for it is pre-NCLEX. We'll talk about it later. Or the Hesi. Those are the three main tests I've seen. Personally, I've taken the ATI, TEAS, and the PAX. So I do have some book recommendations and maybe some quick little tips. And if you have any questions about the application process or any questions about the admission test, please feel free to let me know. So in general, the admissions tests are more so a generalized knowledge. It doesn't really focus on one specific topic. And when I say generalized, I don't mean something that your average everyday person who has never studied biology will know. Like it's generalized for those specific topics. So we'll start with the TEAS because personally I felt as though the TEAS was easier than the PAX. So I've got two of the study books that I used for the TEAS. I really liked this one. I got this from Amazon. This one was really good. Yeah, this one was really good, I have to say. I'm just going to go to the table of contents so I can see, maybe tell you how the test is broken down. So there is all right, so based on the table of contents, there's critical reading, vocabulary, life and physical science. Of course, you're going to have your math. And this book actually comes with two practice tests, the ATI TEAS study guide. And my year is 2020, 2021. Of course, you're going to try and get the most recent year. But if you are trying to go on the cheaper side, then get the previous year. I mean, I don't think it matters unless the test announces that it's making a change. But this was a pretty good book. And then this is another one that I got. I actually didn't really use this one too much because the previous book I just showed you, I really liked that one. This one went in a lot more depth though. So I feel like this was a little bit more general, a little easier to understand, whereas this book really had like the good stuff. And I'm just going to read the back of the book. So this guide covers quick overview, test-taking strategies, introduction, reading, mathematics, science, English, and language usage. So that's what the test is broken up to: reading, mathematics, science, English, and language uses. And this book also has 2 practice tests. So whenever you're studying for an admissions test, and this is for whatever test you're doing, give yourself a month to study. And when I say a month, I don't mean like the rigorous study that you would do once you get into the nursing program. But for TEAS, I believe I took 2 weeks and straight studied. I studied straight and I got a pretty good score on the TEAS. But give yourself time, especially if you're working or you're in school while you're studying for these entrance exams. Sometimes because the knowledge is so vast in the sense that it's nothing specific. So you're not going to sit there studying physics because the test is on more than just, well, first of all, the test doesn't have physics on it. The PAX does. The TEAS does not have physics on it, from what I remember. So let me use biology. So you're not just going to sit there studying one aspect of biology, because honestly, they could ask you any question about biology. So you just want to have enough time to not feel overwhelmed. So that's my first tip. Give yourself at least a month. And actually, a lot of these books do have like a timetable on how to study. So that if that's something you're into, it might find it really helpful. As opposed to me, I know how I study, so I can make my own timetable. But if you need help structuring a timetable, utilize the ones that the study books give you. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the PAX. And I have a lot to say about this test. First of all, for the math, you do not get a calculator. So brush up on those mental math skills, okay? And I don't know, this test was just way harder to me. If you've taken any of these tests, please let me know how you feel about the test. But so the PAX was what I needed to get into my current nursing program. And a little background, I only applied to 2 programs, okay? Application fees are expensive, and I wasn't taking every stinking test. So I only took the TEAS, and that got me into the program I didn't attend, and the PAX, and that got me into the program I did attend. My PAX science score was way lower than my TEAS score. And I'm not gatekeeping the numbers. I'm never embarrassed to say what I got on a test, but I really don't remember. I do know that my math was extremely high for both tests, but I am a strong math student. Not strong like quantum physics or any of those other maths, but I can make it through in some algebra, okay? But yeah, so no calculator for the PAX. And I think you had a lot less time on the PAX also, as opposed to the TEAS. But let's get into what I used. Now, by the time I started studying for the PAX, I was so overstudying. I had already spent 2 weeks on the TEAS, taking the test, and the PAX was very last minute because I didn't realize my program needed it. So do not be like me. You'll probably get a higher score if you make your PAX test a priority. But for me, I was just burnt out. Like, I was just done. This right here, this is the Mometrix test preparation for the PAX exam. This was a really good book, but it is a very overwhelming book. It has a lot of information. So if you are going to use this book, please do not use it to cram. Use it to actually study for the exam. This book had a lot of information. I just remember reading it being like, okay, what the heck? What do I need and what do I not need? Because this is a lot. Give me a moment. I'm going to see if I had a practice test in this book. Yes, there is a practice test in this book. Practice test questions. Yes. I believe there's only one practice exam though. Yeah. And it's not like a full exam. It is broken down into parts. But yeah, they do have questions and explanations in this book. So this was really good. But do not cram this book. I'm telling you, do not. If this is going to be the book that you use to study, do not cram this book. You feel so overwhelmed. And anytime you feel overwhelmed, it may affect your score, especially if you have testing anxiety. Now, this book I highly recommend if you are that person that learned through test taking. This book has 6 PAX exams. And I actually only took one of these practice exams because, like I said, by the time I started studying for the PAX, I was just done. But get this book, do all 6, and it's just really a great book. Let me see. I'm just going to double check and see if they have the explanations for the questions. Yes, they do have question and answer explanations. I highly recommend this book. I got all of these books from Amazon. I don't remember the prices, but I feel like all of the books started at least $40. So when you are looking at these exams, think of the cost. Yes, you do have to pay to take the exam. I believe I paid $90 or maybe $100 for my TEAS. I do not remember how much I paid for the PAX, but I did have to pay for these exams, okay? You do have to pay to get some of your exam scores sent out. So for TEAS, I got 1 free exam score sent out. For PAX, it was a direct link between the PAX and my school, so I did not have to pay to get those sent out. Another huge tip I can give is plan ahead, okay? So like I said earlier, for my PAX exam, I didn't realize that's what the school needed. And I was lucky enough that they were giving a PAX exam within the time frame that I needed to get the exam scores in. So you want to plan ahead, because you would hate to look at a school you're really interested in and be like, dang, I missed the deadline to get that test in. So it's really important that you plan ahead. And don't worry, I'm actually going to be making a application process video in the future. So all of this and all of the extra tips that I can give you will be in that video. But for now, we're just focusing on the tests. And really, my main advice, plan ahead. So you need to figure out what tests you will need. Study at least a month in advance so you do not get overwhelmed by the information. And budget. It can be very expensive, especially if you're applying to more than 2 programs and you need all 3 tests and you need to send out all 3 scores to all of those schools on top of sending out transcripts. It can get very expensive. So just budget. As far as the Hesi nursing school entrance exam, I did not take that exam, so I will not speak on it. I did take the Hesi exam for fundamentals of nursing study. I don't know if the entrance exam is going to be as in-depth as the fundamentals exam. If it is, this is my advice. Hesi has very wordy questions. Take your time reading the questions. That's why I'm saying get these study books so you can get used to how these tests ask questions, because a lot of the times you know the information, it really is just a comprehension issue. And that's what I find most for my test taking. It is always a reading problem, because if you were to give me the question with all that hoopla, I 80% of the time get it right. So whatever test you're taking, get used to the questions. And if you have a lot of anxiety taking tests, I would suggest looking up videos on how to help with that anxiety. Me personally, I do not get testing anxiety. I get anxiety leading up to the test, and then once I get into the room, it is just me, myself, and that exam. So I'm not going to give advice on testing anxiety because I have never experienced it, but I will say try and get a hold of it now, because you will pass these tests and you will be admitted to your program, and the anxiety just gets worse from here. So please just do what you can for the admission test, and just breathe. If it's meant to be, it will be. So you will get into that program. I'm rooting for you. So super short video today. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some book recommendations. I love book recommendations because who wants to waste money on a book that doesn't help? And if you have any questions about admissions exams, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to subscribe. So maybe one day I can give out that Lipman. I don't know what that was. Anyway. So please feel free to subscribe, and please follow me on Instagram. I realize that I do like making videos, but I also like interaction and live conversations, and I love giving advice or helping people or getting advice about nursing and life in general. So please, if you feel like following me, hit me up. If you do decide to DM me, just put followed you from YouTube, because if a random person DMs me, I 10 out of 10 don't answer because I just think you're a creep sometimes. But if you put followed you from YouTube, I will 100% answer, because that means that you are not a random. But yeah, so I hope you're having a great day, and if you are preparing for applications, good luck. Let me know if you need any help, and please look forward to that video on the full application process. I will definitely try and get that out in the next coming weeks. And as always, stay tuned for my little vlog. Peace, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Hi, happy people. So it's been a long time, and yes, I'm looking a mess. The semester hasn't even started, but I don't care. So I'm about to get on orientation for NU 102. This apparently is going to be my med surg semester, and y'all, I'm dreading it. Like, everyone is telling me how hard this is going to be, and I just don't want to do this. Like, even for orientation, to kick things off, I'm about to do a math quiz. Like, for orientation, is there no break? But I don't know, I'm really nervous. Like, I love a challenge, but to a certain extent. Like, nobody wants to be challenged to the point where they feel like they're going to have a mental breakdown every day. So wish me luck. If you're starting your med surg semester, good luck to you also. But I'm going to keep it positive, because I think I was very excited for last semester, but I was also really nervous, and I did well. So I'm just going to hope for the best this semester and try and study, and we'll see.